Okay, so for this problem, if the bucket and its contents have a total weight of 20 pounds, determine the force in the supporting cables DA, DB, and DC.
So how many forces can you see here?
Five. Five, ma'am.
Five forces, okay? So, do not forget always the weight, okay? Actually, there are five, okay? So, let's name them. So, first is the bucket, the weight of the bucket, which is based on this 20 pound. The second one is here. This is, let's say, T1. Ito yung nakakonect kay bucket. This is another one, T2. This is T3. And this is T4. So, sila ay 5. Okay? But we know, T1 is just equal to weight. Okay? So, T1 is just equal to weight. Usually nga, hindi na ini-include si T1. Okay? Ang nilalagay na lang talaga dito ay si weight. Because T1, based on what we proved a while ago, which is this, okay, ito, T1 is just equal to weight. So, we will just call this as weight later, okay? T1 is just equal to weight, okay? So, here, since nalaman na natin kung ilan yung forces, we will now convert each force to Cartesian vector. Okay? Ito yung pinagkaiba ng 2D sa 3D. Sa 2D kasi solve agad what is the summation of forces, pero dito hindi. Okay, hindi tayo makakapag-solve ng ganon. Now, for step 2, so pag convert na tayo ng forces into Cartesian vector, may tatlong ways. Okay, there are 3 ways. So, first, pag ang given ay alpha, beta, and gamma, okay, the given are alpha, beta, and gamma, ang gagamitin nyo dyan na force is just equal to magnitude times the unit vector, ganyan pa rin. Pero the formula of unit vector here is cosine alpha, I hat, plus cosine beta, j hat, and cosine gamma, k hat. Okay? So, you have to determine where is cos alpha, beta, and gamma in this problem. Okay? So, yun yung kailangan nyo ma-practice. Or, if for number 2, pag azimuth or transverse angle, so transverse and azimuth angle, kailangan nyo, ang formula nyo ng F ay hindi ito. Okay? Ang formula nyo ng F is Fx, I hat, plus Fy, J hat, plus Fz, K hat, and in which gagamitan nyo ng SOHCAHTOA to get Fx, Fy, and Fz. So, dito magkakaroon kayo ng Fxy. Ito yung ginagamitan natin ng pag may Fz, may Fxy, Fy, then Fz. Okay? Then, mano-mano ang sign pag transverse and azimuth angle. Okay? So, that is number 2. And lastly, pag position points, okay? So, position points, ang given, so here, ganito uli, F is equal to magnitude times unit vector. Pero yung unit vector nyo dito is manggagaling kay position vector. Okay? I-extract nyo yung position vector galing kay position vector. So first, alamin nyo muna. So ang first step dito is define the points. Define the position points. Okay? Points. Second, pag na-define nyo na yung position point, alamin nyo kung nasaan yung head ng force. Okay? Determine where is the head. Kasi kung ano yung head, yun yung final point. Because you will get R is equal to final point minus initial point. Ima-minus yung dalawa until you will come up to a position vector. Okay? So, ang tawag na dito is a position vector. Then, step 3 is you will get the magnitude of that. So, that will be just root of x squared plus ry squared plus rz squared. And lastly, you will now extract. Okay? The fourth is u now is just equal to position vector divided by the magnitude. Definitely, this is a position vector. Okay? Position points kasi dimension ang binigay. So, again, ang first step, pag position points or position vector, define the points. So, we have to define the points. So, what is point A? Okay, 4.5, positive or negative?
Positive po.
Okay, next.
0.
0y.
Okay, then next.
3z.
Okay, for 3. Good. Okay, how about for B?
Si B, ma'am, 1.500.
1.5, 0, 0. Good. C,
0.
0,
2.5 po. And then 3.
2.5, and 3. Then point D, this one, itong gitna. This one. Point D is
1.5, 1.5, and then 0 po.
okay. So, hopefully, naintindihan nyo to So, ang unahin muna natin is, we know the points, okay? Ang unahin natin muna ay si T2. Okay? So, si T2 muna. So, for T2, ito yung T2 natin. So, this is a pulling force. So, ang head niya ay papunta kay B. Okay? Since ang head niya papunta kay B, so that is B minus D. B minus D. Okay? So, that is for T2. So, that is RB to D. B minus D. So, that is position vector. So, 1.5 minus 1.5. So, that is 0, I hat. 0 minus 1.5. So, negative 1.5, J hat. Then, 0 minus 0. That is 0. Okay? So, this is just the position vector of T2. Now, for magnitude of BD, so since isa lang yan, that is 1.5. Okay? And the unit vector of that, so negative 1.5 j hat divided by 1.5, so that is negative j hat. And therefore, T2 now is just equal to, ang formula ng force natin is, remember, F is equal to what is the magnitude times its unit vector. Since T2 is just the vector, it's just the magnitude, hindi natin alam kung anong value ng T2 na yan, then J hat, lalagyan ko lang ng negative dito. Okay? So that is for T2. Now for T3, dito natin sulat si T3 para magkasya yung apat dito. So for T3, that is, this is the head. Okay, this is the head. So that is A minus D. A minus D. So that is R AD. So for the position vector, 4.5 minus 1.5, so that is 3I hat. 0 minus 1.5, negative 1.5 J hat. Then 3 minus 0, so that is positive 3K hat. Okay, use your calculator. Give me the magnitude of RAD. What is the magnitude of this? 3 squared plus 1.5 squared plus 3 squared is square root of that. 4.5, and this is feet. Okay, do not forget the unit. So, feet siya. So, therefore, we will now get the unit vector of that. So, the unit vector is 3 over 4.5. What is the lowest form of 3 over 4.5?
2/3.
2/3. Okay, so 2/3 I hat, tama. Negative 1.5 divided by 4.5. What is the lowest term?
1/3.
So 1/3 J hat. Okay. 2/3 K hat. Okay? So that is now the unit vector. We will now determine the Cartesian force vector of T3. We will just multiply T3 to this. So that is 2/3 T3 I hat minus 1/3 T3 J hat plus 2/3 T3 K hat. Again, minultiply ko. Ito yung finalo ko lang ha. So, the force, para malaman natin yung Cartesian vector ng force, ano yung magnitude, since hindi natin alam pa yung magnitude ni T3, yun yung pinapahanap actually, kaya natin ito ginagawa. Find what is the magnitude times the unit vector. Ito yung sagot. Okay? So, that will be for T3. Let's go to T4. For T4, ito yung kay T4. So, T4 is CD. So, ang arrowhead niyan ay papunta kay C. So, C minus D. Okay, C, D. So, in that case, C minus D, 0 minus 1.5. So, that is negative 1.5. I hat 2.5 minus 1.5. So, that is 1 J hat or J hat. Positive J hat. 3 minus 0, so that is 3 K hat. Okay? Now, can you give me what is the magnitude of 1.5 squared plus 1 squared plus 3 squared is square root of that? So, 7 over 2 or 3.5. Okay, good. So, as much as possible, do not round off pag wala pa kayo sa final answer. Malay pa tayo sa final answer. So, it's either, ang tatanggapin ko lang na sagot here in this part is exact, like 3.5. Naka-fraction, kung hindi siya exact, do not give me a many decimal numbers. Or naka-radical. Okay? So, that is now 3.5 feet. So, here, we will now extract the unit vector from here. So, 1.5, negative 1.5 divided by 3.5, what is the answer? What is the lowest term?
3 over
Ay,
7 po.
3
3
over
over
7.
7. I had 1 over, this is 1 over 3.5, j hat. So, 2 over 7. How about 3 divided by 3.5?
6 over 7.
Okay, very good. 6 over 7, and that is the unit vector. Now, for T4, again, I will use this general form. So, I will multiply the magnitude of T4 na hindi natin alam times its unit vector. So, therefore, it will be T4. The Cartesian vector is equal to negative 3 over 7 T4 I hat plus 2 over 7 T4 j hat plus 6 over 7 T4 K hat, and that's it. Okay? And lastly, hindi pa yan tapos kasi tatlo pa lang yan. Okay? Ang force na meron tayo ay 4, which is yung T1, which is equal to weight. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, di ba, gagamitin na lang natin is weight. So to find the Cartesian vector of the weight, so ganito lang siya. Hindi natin kailangan actually ng position points sa weight. Kasi since it's directly downward, ganyan, so parang ganyan, okay? Papunta siya dito, sulat natin. This is the weight. Ang direction niyan is negative k hat. Okay? Direction niya is negative k hat. Pero since meron na siyang magnitude, weight is equal to 20 pound. So nakalagay dyan 20 pound. So I will write here negative 20 k hat, and I will put pound. So meron na tayong weight. So ang una nating Cartesian vector force, T2, kay T3, oops, T4, that one, and kay W. Okay? So, the next step here is we will copy all the forces and magsasummation na tayo. Okay? We will do the summation of forces. Now, doon na tayo sa third step, sa which is summation of force, which is equal to 0. Kung ito yung step 2 sa 2D, pero ito ay step 3 sa 3D. Here, ang gagawin lang natin, since this is summation of forces, remember, meron na tayong 3D, so kukunin muna natin summation of forces along X, summation of forces along Y, or summation of forces along Z. So, ang pinakamagandang method na nakikita ko na very clear at hindi nakakalito is ganito, okay? So, first, I will copy first this one. So, first, si weight muna is the force, okay? Ang gagawin ko, isihiwalayin ko yung kanyang vector. So, here, 0 I si weight, 0j si weight, plus 0j, at meron siyang negative 20 k hat si weight. Okay? This is the equation of the weight. Again, kung matatandaan nyo here, if you will go back, weight is negative 20 k hat pound. So, hindi ko muna nilagay yung unit. So, negative 20 k hat pound. That is for weight. For T2, medyo madali si T2, that is negative T2J hat. So here, for T2 is 0 ang kanyang I, negative T2J hat ang kanyang value for J, at wala siyang K. Usually, in the next part, kunwari nasanay na kayo, kahit hindi nyo na isulat yung mga may 0, 0. Okay? Itatapat nyo lang. Now, for T3, ito, kailangan nyo nating kabisaduhin. T3 is 2/3 T3. Okay, 2/3 ni T3 I hat What's next? Negative 1/3 and 2/3 ulit. So, negative 1/3 T3 J hat plus 2/3 T3 K hat. That is for T3. For T4, tell me ha, pag may mali ako ha. So, tinatapat-tapat ko lang yung lahat ng I, lahat ng J, lahat ng Z. K rad. And, okay, for T4, negative 3 over 7, negative 3 over 7, T4, I hat, then 2 over 7 at 6 over 7. 2 over 7, T4, J hat, then 3 over 7, T4, K hat. So that will be positive. Both are positive. Okay. So what we're just going to do is we will get the summation of forces along X. Okay? Summation of forces along X, which is equal to 0. Now, para malaman nyo kung anong yung X dyan, definitely, itong lahat ng I na yan ay delta X. Okay? Lahat ng I na yan, ito ay delta X. Now, lahat naman ng J, delta Y, lahat ng K, delta Z. Okay? So, therefore, ang kukunin ko muna is yung delta X. So, that is 0, 0. Hindi ko na kailangan ilagay yan. 2/3 T3 I hat minus 3 over 7 T4 I hat is equal to 0. Okay? So, that is the equation for forces along X. Now, here, kung i-analyze natin, hindi natin alam si T3, hindi natin alam si T4. So, dalawa ang unknown, wala tayong masosolve. Now, for the summation of forces along Y, okay, so tatlo sila. So, mas marami tayong hindi mas masosolve. Definitely, meron siyang T2, J hat, negative T2 J hat, negative 1, 3, T3 J hat, plus 2, 7, T4 J hat is equal to 0. So, since tatlo yung unknown dito, T2, T3, and T4, wala tayong masosolve dito. Now, for the summation of Z is equal to 0 again. So, that is negative 20 K hat plus 2 thirds T3 K hat plus 3 over 7 T4 K hat is equal to 0. So from here, wala na naman tayong masosolve. May dalawang unknown. So what are we going to do to solve anything here from these three equations? Okay, so ang gagawin natin is here, I will use fx, yung equation ni fx, to solve here. Okay, i-equate ko tong dalawang to. Okay, pwedeng equate, pwedeng cancellation, pwedeng substitute. So I will equate these two, yung force ko, yung equation ko sa x at yung equation ko sa y. Now, ang gusto kong ma-solve ay si T3. I want to solve T3. So, therefore, dapat mawala sa landas ko si T4. So, what I'm going to do is I will derive this one so that it will be T4 is equal to something at ganun din ito. T4 is equal to something. Okay? So, let's do that here. So, I will derive this. So, again, ang gusto ko i-solve si T3, dapat mawala. I-equate ko sila sa si T4 later. So, since T4 is positive and negative, I will have to transpose it to the other side. So, that is 2/3 T3 I hat is equal to 3 over 7 T4 I hat. And I will cancel I hat now. So, T4 on the other side, then divide both sides by 7 over 3. Okay, divide both sides by 7 over 3. In that case, T4 na lang sa kabilang side, but on the other side, it will be 14 over 9. Kala ko, okay. So that is the value now of T4. Okay? So since medyo ano lang naman siya, monomial, okay, wala siyang equation. So mas madaling isa-substitute na lang natin siya kay T4. Okay? Mas madaling isa-substitute natin siya kay T4. Hindi na natin i-derive si kay FZ para lang makuha natin si T4. So kung ano yung mas madali sa inyo, pwede nyo gamitin. Basta may equate nyo sila. Okay? Kung ano yung mas madali sa inyong way, it's okay. So marami kasing method of cancellation and removing the points. So it's up to you. Okay? So in my case, I will just replace T4 here into 14 over 93. So that is negative 20 K hat plus 2/3 T3 K hat plus, okay, 3 over 74 now is, this is the value, 14 over 9, T3, and do not forget the K hat here, is equal to 0. Can you simplify? 3 times 14 divided by 7 over 9, what will be the answer?
2/3, ma'am.
2/3. Okay. 2/3 T3? Okay, T3 K hat. Sure kayo Then 2/3 plus 2/3, what will be the
4/3.
answer? 4/3. So, ito ginawa ko, sinimplify ko to, i-add this one kasi pareho na sila. So, negative 20 K hat plus 4/3 T3 K hat is equal to 0. Do you think I can solve now T3 here?
Yes
Pwede
po.
ko na. Okay, yes. So, since T3 is positive na, ang ililipat ko is yung negative 20 K hat pound sa kabila. So, that is, so matitira si 4/3 T3 K hat here. Then, lipat yan. Pagiging positive K hat pound, cancel yang K. So, remember may pound to Then, divide both side by 3 over 4 para makancel yung 4 over 3 kay T3. So, T3 now is 20 times 3 over 4. What will be the answer?
15.
So, very good. This is now T3, 15 pound. How about T4? Since alam na natin si T3, I can now solve T3, 15 pound times 14 over 9. What will be the answer? So, 14 over 9 times 15 pound. What will be the answer?
70/3 po, ma'am.
70 over 3
Opo.
pound. Or, ano yung sinabi mo kanina?
23.33.
23.33. Kung final answer to, ang ibibigay nyo sa akin sa quiz is ay 23.33. Pero since magsosolve pa tayo ng T2, okay, since we are going to solve T2 pa, we will use 70 over 3 later. Okay? So, let's solve now. We have T4, T3. Let's solve T4. Dito na lang mag-solve ng T4 sa taas So, here, this one. This one. So, summation of forces along Y. Kailangan ko i-solve si T2. Since T2 is negative here, siya ang ilalabas ko or itatranspose ko sa kabila. Okay? So, it will be T2 is just equal to, makakancel yung J hat nila, So, that is 1/3, negative 1/3 T3 plus 2 over 7 T4. So, that is negative 1/3. Then, si T3 ay 15 pound plus 2 over 7. Then, si T4 ay 70 over 3 pound. What is negative? 15 over 3 is 5. Okay, so negative 5 pound plus, what is 2 over 7 of 70 over 3?
6.66, ma'am. 20/3.
20 over 3 pa rin?
Opo.
Okay, 20 over 3 pound minus 5, what will be the answer? So, 20 over 3 minus 5.
5/3.
5 over 3 or
1.66.
1.66 pero or 67. So, kung final answer na to, since final answer na to, ang ilalagay nyo is 1.67 pound. So, this is now T2. Pero kung hindi naman, this is 5 over 3 pound. This is T4. Okay, T4 to. Ayun natin ang box. And this is T3. And alam nyo namang si weight ay 20 pound and si T1 ay 20 pound din. Okay, now we now know the different forces.